Sleep died for whatever reason. So, oh man, sound like a personal quest. Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's talk about it. Yeah, I said it. There are some people on this earth who get the benefit of the doubt simply because of their situation that they're in. And this puts us in a compromising position oftentimes because we overlook that person's character flaws, we overlook that person's weaknesses, we overlook that person's inadequacies because we're trying to overcompensate for our emotional or just feeling sorry for the person. And who I'm talking about is Greg Abbott and Madison Cawthorn. Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas. Madison Cawthorn is I believe he's a senator or something like that in North Carolina, state rep, some crap like that. And these are two men who clearly show that character has absolutely nothing to do with their physical handicap. Their true handicap is in their mind. These are two men who was mentally handicapped far long before they became physically handicapped. And this is hurting them, not only them, but people around them and the people that they claim to represent. This is hurting them. Their mental handicap is what's hurting the country. Their emotional handicap is what's hurting the country. Their moral handicap is what's hurting the country. Their physical handicap has absolutely nothing to do with anything. You know, and this is what I want to convey in this message today. Greg Abbott has been one of the worst governors in Texas, and you're looking at a place where we just got rid of Rick Perry. So for Greg Abbott to be worse than Rick Perry, you really have to be a large sack of trash in order to get that title right there. And Madison Cawthorn, coming out of North Carolina, which is the state that I was raised in, same deal for you, man. Your lack of morals, your lack of character, your lack of values, and lack of integrity, that is your true handicap. It has absolutely nothing to do with what physically happened to you. So I wish they had a wheelchair for your mind, or something for your emotions, or your lack of emotions. No, this is what your true handicap is, and this is what people need to focus on and realize whenever you're dealing with a person who is physically handicapped, because they will use that to garner acceptance. They will use it to garner sympathy so that they can get an upper hand from you. And so you have to be mindful of these wolves in sheep's clothing, because that's exactly what they are. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. Now, I've stated before that Abbott has been having an issue with getting the power grid to be complete and whole, and we still have power outages going all over Texas. And right now, I just went outside to get the frost off of my wife's windshield. So we've got ice on the ground once again. Now, is this going to cause another oversurge in our power grid? And this is the same man who's made a deal with Elon Musk to bring his whole entire headquarters to Austin, Texas. And so I ask again, what kind of deal has he set in place with Elon Musk to contribute to helping with this power grid issue in Texas, if he's going to be allowed to use so much energy within the state of Texas? And so my thing is this: Greg Abbott has sold out the state of Texas, and this is not the only time. There's other times that he sold out the state of Texas. But this is just another one of those character flaws. This is another one of those handicaps coming from him. And, people don't know how to deal with handicapped people. I see this all the time. Whenever you see handicapped people out in public, most people are either shy away from them because they're uncomfortable and they don't know what to say and they don't know how to respond to a person who has a outwardly physical handicap, or autism or anything along those lines, to where a person would be considered abnormal from the majority of the rest of society. And so a lot of people will shy away from that person. But I remember when my son was in about, I'll say, third or fourth grade, and there is a kid named Dale, and I guess Dale was mentally handicapped. And, a lot of kids, parents don't talk to their kids about stuff like that. Most parents, if they were probably like me and my ex, or my wife at the time, we would tell our children that you treat everybody the same. Regardless of anything, you treat everybody the same and you treat them according to their individual character and personality. And so I got a call from his teacher one day, and we automatically assumed the worst off tops. And the call went like this: Mr. and Mrs. Mackin, I just wanted to let you know that your son Jamarian did one of the most awesome things today I've ever seen. And there was a kid named Dale, who's a handicapped kid, and everybody shies away from Dale, and some of the kids are even scared of Dale because they don't understand what Dale is dealing with, and they just avoid, or just have that raw feeling about it. But she said Jamarian never shies away from Dale. He talks to Dale just like he talks to all of his other friends. If Dale needs some help going to the bathroom, Jamarian will take it upon himself to go help Dale. And the teacher said, this is nothing that we showed Jamarian. This is nothing that we said to him. This is nothing that we told the students they had to do or anything. This is something that he just took upon himself, and the teacher noticed that in his character, and she just wanted to give him his flowers. So this was a long time ago. My son is almost 30 years old now, but I just thought that that was a neat story, man. And I always was very proud of him for being that type of person, and all of my kids are those types of people. So I'm that's one thing that I'm proud of. If I've never done anything in my life, man, imparting that mindset into them was probably one of the greatest things that I could have done for them and for the world. And so this is how we should treat people. But when it comes down to people like Greg Abbott, I wonder if over the years some bitterness hasn't built up in that man because of his situation. We don't know. We don't know what he's thinking on a regular basis. Most of us would be like, wow, he's such a strong person. He's such a courageous person because he's been battling this all of his life and he's persevered to reach this level in society. Well, once again, you also have to put into that consideration is that even though he had that situation, he still comes from a family of means and a background of means. And so that does not mean that he had to struggle or fight any harder to get those credentials and stuff like that. If anything, that helped him to come more easily to him. And now we have this piece of trash who is considered to be the governor of Texas. Yeah, I said it, piece of trash. If you don't agree with that, then hey, keep it moving. I ain't even tripping. But based on all of his actions towards the state of Texas and the sickening, divisive rhetoric that he pushes, that's exactly what he is in my book. And the same thing for Madison Cawthorn as well. I really don't know a lot about Madison Cawthorn because I don't follow North Carolina as much as I do Texas, because most of my interests lie in Texas as far as my family. I do have family in North Carolina, but Madison Cawthorn is not the governor there. So most of my interest is right here, right now, especially with this whole power grid thing, and we're in the middle of winter. So that takes priority right now in my mindset. And so to to think that these people are out here doing deals based on, well, I'm not surprised. First and foremost, let me say that I'm not surprised that they are the people that they are, because a handicap is not going to change your privilege. A handicap is not going to change your lineage and, you know, the whole system that they came up in. You have disabled bigots, you have disabled racists, you have disabled everything. They're just like everybody else, and I hate how people try to make them out to be some type of pariah. That really bothers me, and I think it bothers them more so, and it can breed bitterness in a person because it's very condescending to treat someone like a child, or like they're abnormal just because they don't look like you, or because they don't, their body does not operate like yours. Of course there's going to be some differences, but we're all human, and that's what it comes down to. The lack of being, the inability to be able to treat another person like a human just because they're different. This is what this is alluding to. And these guys have been treated like that all of their life. And now they're in positions of authority. They're in positions of influence that can influence masses of people. And the same as everybody else that I've stated before, who came up in that participation trophy era, who does not qualify for the job that they're sitting in the position of. Governor Greg Abbott is no different, and Madison Cawthorn is no different. They are not qualified for the positions that they're in. They did not work for those positions, and we are reaping the consequences of their inadequacies and their inability to properly do these jobs. So my thing is this: if we're going to call something out, we're going to call it all the way across the board. We're not going to play that sympathy game. Oh, he's in a wheelchair. Well, guess what? Guess what? He's a piece of crap in a wheelchair. Yeah, I said it. This is your boy D Mac, man. I'm out. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not out. No, I am not. Today is Thursday, February 24th. And this is my daughter, Gabrielle Smith, senior night. She plays basketball at the University of North Carolina, Pembroke. She's been a great student athlete for, well, she transferred there. So the last 2 years, she's been at UNC Pembroke. She's been a great student. She's been a great athlete. She's been a great friend. She's been a great teammate to all of her teammates. And we are so proud of you. We love you for your accomplishments on and off the court. And I just can't wait to see what life has in store for you, young lady. So shout out to my daughter, Gabrielle. This senior year. Go out there and be a low post bully like you've been doing all season. We love it. Um, and I want to give a shout out of concern to my nephew, DJ Steffens. He plays in the Super League basketball league in Ukraine, and they've been extracted out. But my hearts and prayers going out for the people in Ukraine, the U.S. citizens who are still stuck in Ukraine, along with, you know, everybody who's actual uh, residents of Ukraine and the people of Ukraine. So, you know, hearts and prayers are going with those people, man. Somebody need to do something about Russia. We can't sit here with the kid mittens on with Russia. We got to come in with power and might and a show of force because that's the only thing that they respect. And if Joe Biden does anything less, he's going to get embarrassed on the world stage and he's going to cost himself an election because nobody wants a weak president. And he's already exhibited many, many weak actions as the president. So, yeah, now I want to finish and go ahead and say, this is D Mac. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.